In the heart of a glowing city called Verano, there lived a young woman named Lila. She was full of energy, full of life. Everyone around her loved her warmth. Lila worked as a graphic designer at a busy creative agency. She was known for her talent, her smile, and her passion for her work. Lila had been in a relationship for 5 years with a man named Ryan. He was confident, successful, and charming. People looked at them and said, "They are perfect together." They had big plans, a home, a wedding, a future. Lila trusted him with everything she had. One evening, Lila was sitting in a cozy cafe with her closest friend, Nina. They were laughing, sipping coffee, enjoying the night. Then Nina's face changed. Her smile disappeared. Her eyes went serious. "Lila," she said slowly, "I need to tell you something." Nina took a deep breath. "I saw Ryan yesterday. He was with another woman. They looked very close." Lila's heart stopped. The laughter inside her went silent. "Are you sure it was him?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Yes," Nina said softly. "I'm so sorry, Lila." That night, Lila went home and confronted Ryan. She asked him directly. His face turned pale. He stumbled over his words. He couldn't look her in the eyes. And in that silence, she found her answer. He had been lying to her. He had been cheating. The truth hit her like a wave, cold, heavy, unbearable. How could the person she trusted most in this world do something like this to her? The days that followed were dark. Lila couldn't eat. She couldn't focus. She went through the motions at work, but her heart wasn't there. She pulled away from her friends, sat alone in the dark, and asked herself one question over and over: why? Then, one afternoon, she decided to take a walk through the park near her home. She sat on a bench and watched the children playing. She listened to the birds, and slowly, quietly, something inside her began to shift. She thought to herself, "I cannot let his mistake define my life." She realized that the pain was real, but she didn't have to stay in it forever. She had a choice, and she chose herself. She made an important decision. She ended the relationship. She started going to therapy. She talked about her pain, her fears, and her dreams, and slowly the healing began. She threw herself into her work. She created some of the most powerful designs of her career. Nina stood by her side through everything. Her other friends did too. Months passed, and little by little, Lila started to feel like herself again. She traveled, she explored, she discovered hobbies she never knew she had. And through all of it, she learned something deeply important. Nothing in life comes without a cost. Not love, not trust, not loyalty. These things must be earned. They must be protected. And she deserved someone who understood that. One day, she met someone new. His name was Ethan. He was quiet, kind, and patient. He didn't rush her. He didn't pressure her. He simply showed up every single day with honesty and care. With time, Lila began to trust again. Not because she forgot the past, but because she had healed from it. She realized that her pain had made her stronger. It had taught her who she really was. And it had taught her exactly what she deserved. Then one evening, at an art gallery, Lila ran into Ryan. He looked different, quieter, less sure of himself. He walked toward her carefully. "Lila," he said, "can we talk?" She agreed. They found a quiet corner, and he apologized. He told her how much he regretted what he had done. He said his life had felt empty without her. Lila listened. She was calm, She was clear. "I forgive you, Ryan," she said, "but I can't go back. I've moved forward, and that's where I'm staying." It was a bittersweet moment, but it gave her something she had needed for a long time: closure. Months later, Lila was offered a major project in a new city, a huge opportunity for her career. Ethan encouraged her to go, even though it meant distance, even though it was hard. She packed her bags and stepped into something new. In the new city, she met a fellow designer named Clara. Clara had her own story of heartbreak and recovery. They quickly became close friends. They supported each other through long nights and tough deadlines. Together, they pushed each other to grow. Lila's project was a massive success. Her creativity was praised. Her confidence grew. She felt something she hadn't felt in a long time: purpose. She and Ethan stayed connected through calls, messages, and surprise visits. Their bond grew stronger with every passing week. But distance is never easy, and one night Ethan called her, his voice tight and strained. "Lila," he said, "I need to tell you something. I kissed someone at a party. It meant nothing, but it happened. And I'm telling you because you deserve the truth." She was devastated. Again, the same old pain, the same old fear. She told him she needed space. He gave it to her. No arguments, no excuses, just respect. During that time apart, Lila leaned on Clara and her friends. She reflected. She asked herself, is love something worth fighting for, even when it hurts? Ethan used that time too. He went to therapy. He worked on himself. He wrote her letters, not to pressure her, just to be honest. He told her what he felt. He told her what he was doing to become better. After a few months, Lila reached out. They met in a quiet park, one full of memories. They talked for a long time. She looked into his eyes. She saw real remorse, real change. And she made a choice, a careful, conscious choice. She gave them another chance, but with clear rules, full honesty, full respect. Slowly, they rebuilt. They communicated better. They learned to speak the hard truths before they became secrets. Lila returned to Verano. They moved in together. They faced challenges like every couple does, but they faced them as a team. Years passed, and one day they stood outside a house they had just bought together. It wasn't just a house, it was proof. Proof that real love takes real work, and that the work, every difficult moment of it, was worth it. They hosted a housewarming party, friends, family, laughter, music, and in the middle of all of it, Clara arrived as a surprise. She hugged Lila tight and whispered, "I'm so proud of you." Life continued. There were more challenges, more decisions. Ethan was offered a dream job in another city, a difficult choice for both of them. But this time, they were ready. They had done long distance before, and they had survived it. Ethan took the job. They stayed committed. They made plans. And when his contract ended, he came home, back to Lila, back to Verano. They celebrated with a quiet trip to the countryside, just the two of them, reflecting on how far they had come. Together, they got involved in their community. They volunteered. They helped renovate a local center. They planted gardens. They built friendships. They gave back. And in doing so, they found something unexpected, more joy than they had ever imagined. Then one morning, Lila looked at Ethan with shining eyes and said, "I think we're ready." They were going to start a family. 9 months later, their daughter Lily was born, and the moment they held her, the whole world felt different. Raising Lily brought new challenges, and new joys beyond words. Lila found that motherhood inspired her creativity in ways nothing else ever had. Ethan made sure to teach Lily about kindness, fairness, and never giving up. As a family, they traveled, explored, and made memories together. They taught Lily to be curious, to be kind, and to be strong. They told her their story, all of it, the pain, the mistakes, the healing, and the love. One evening, they sat together looking through old photos. Lila looked at Ethan, she looked at Lily, and she felt something deep and quiet inside her chest: gratitude. They had come so far, through betrayal, through distance, through doubt, and they had chosen, every single day, to keep going. That is what love really is. Not a feeling you fall into. It is a decision you make, over and over again. It is the price you willingly pay, because the person across from you is worth it, and so is the life you are building together. Nothing in life is truly free, but some things, the right things, are worth every single cost. Remember that, and keep going. Thank you for listening with Fluent Harbor. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs it today.